Greetings, and this is Lunaris Aileron, and I know that I haven't been doing any videos in quite a while. It is because some stuff happening in my real life, namely that I recently kinda got promoted, and now I am a department boss. So I got lots of things I have to handle, and many issues I have to straighten out, and I have to learn many new responsibilities and such. So I have been very busy this past 1 month learning and experiencing new things. So I usually end my days with me getting really tired to do any recording. So like this past month I've been usually just go to work and then went back and then play some games. And so I think tonight for this video I'm just gonna talk about wrapping out the fall 2017 anime. Like this season has been quite good. I really love it. It went better than I expected. Even though there's some disappointment here and there. There's few things that I would have loved to be better. But to compare to some seasons recently, I think this season has been pretty good. So like first I think I'm gonna talk about things that I'm disappointed in. Like I have touched on this on several of my first impression videos, like how I am so disappointed in Konohana Kitan that I think it could have been better. I heard from some other people that it got better in later episodes, but if you cannot if you cannot attract me, make me interested in your anime in 4 episodes, you kinda don't deserve my attention for later episodes. Maybe in some cases I will, but I don't think with the overall animation quality like Konohana Kitan and how it delivers the individual scenes, I can tolerate it any further, even if it even if it's written nicely. And and then there's a bunch of other animes like Juni Taisen is plain idiotic. I'm gonna just I'm not gonna talk about Juni Taisen. I hate it. it Nishio Oisin can write good stuff with Monogatari, and I think partly why Monogatari series has been pretty good is because Shaft and few other how other studio makes the anime makes Nishio Oisin's writing shines. Like Katanagatari is written by Nishio Oisin, and I quite like Katanagatari, even though it is like uh 60 minutes of 12 episodes each, and it is like 90% talking. But I enjoyed Katanagatari because of the art style, how the studio makes the individual scenes and banter and dialogues. But Juni Taisen is just bad. It's pretentious. It tries to be Nishio Oisin's level of pretentiousness, but it end up cringy instead of end up being entertaining. Especially it's a series about killing and people dying, so it just become much more cringy. Yeah, I think cringy is a good way to describe it. Even though I know people hate that adjective, but I really hated it, especially with the designs and the art style doesn't fit with the writing style. With how the story is wanted to be presented. And there's a bunch of other animes that I stopped early, like DS Era, however you spell it, the one that was adapted from a visual novel and about bunch of Nazis and stuff. I stopped about episode 3 because it's just a amateurish and very amateurish animation in general. I didn't get much into it. It wasn't interesting enough. And then Blend S, I'm really disappointed in Blend S. It's very mediocre for that kind of art style. It reminds me of several other moe soul comedy that looks good visually, but it doesn't cut it in terms of how the overall anime presented is not entertaining to me. Kinda like what's the name? Uh, Hinako Note and uh and for what the what and happy and happy. Yeah, that too is a perfect example of, even though it looks kinda nice and cute and colorful, but the comedy just doesn't work for me. I think it's much more inferior compared to something like something also moe soul comedy like Yuru Yuri, Yu Yu Shiki, Achikoche, Gochi Usa, even Air Channel, and even Kiniro Mosaic, even though Kiniro Mosaic season 2 is terrible. Oh my god, I don't want to remember that. Season 2 of Kiniro Mosaic is, oh my god, it's such a disappointment. That should be a case study on how to not do a sequel, how to not how to not uh destroy, how to not fuck your own material. Okay, and then what else? What else is disappointing? Mm, I stopped watching just because. I stopped watching several other things. And Net Juno Suzume, even though I said that it is bad in my first impression video, but I kinda like the premise and some charm it has, considering that it is a very vanilla story. But in the end, just like I expected, I said it is a bad anime, and it became a bad anime later. It was kind of disappointing because I think it has potential to has a charm of its own, like something like a bad anime but charming on its own way. I think it could have been that, but in the end it is kind of mediocre. So I think I'm gonna talk about things other anime. Could realize uh, remind me that I really hate reverse harem genre. Usually, I think reverse harem genre where there's a female lead surrounded by many male characters. I think they are trashier than typical harem genre where it is the reverse. I really hate how much potential could realize did not realize. I mean, like the art is gorgeous, even though it has some difficulty in animating the movement because the characters are very character models are very detailed. But the art and color is pretty good and it is pretty consistent. But the story is kinda okay. I think it could have been presented better. But what I really hated is how much of a how much of a lifeless brick the main female character is. She has no emotion. She has, I don't know why does sorry, why does reverse harem genre likes to make a female lead that is very weak and very passive and likes to be, I think because these writers like the male characters to be assertive, likes to be manly. But I think that could work. I mean, I don't mind if a lead characters to be weak, but I do mind if she don't have emotions, if she lacks severe emotions and lacking facial expressions. It is her characters is very passive. I really hated that. I mean, I see some potential in some other characters, but in the end, the cons got the better out of the pros. So I think I stopped watching when actually things getting more serious. Because I just don't bother anymore because the female characters is just so. So passive. So what else? Garo. Oh, I like Garo. Garo is pretty good. I think how should I say this? I think for a normal viewers that going to watch Garo, I think it will be perfectly fine. It will not be something that incredibly groundbreaking or something. But if you are a fan of the Garoverse in general, I think Vanishing Line is a good addition to the universe. And the fighting scene is pretty cool as well. And I, hmm, yes, but basically what I'm going to say that Vanishing Line is a good addition to the Garoverse. Maybe I should watch the one in the Japan the anime, not the series. Is there a new TV series of Garo? I don't know anymore. I don't really follow tokusatsu or TV show anymore. And even though I used to be a fan of Kamen Rider, and the last thing I watched is actually the last thing that I finished is actually Kamen Rider Gaim. You know, it's a masterpiece of a Kamen Rider series because it was written by Urabuchi. But after that, it just goes downhill. I don't know why. I think it's Kamen Rider Drive, Ghost, and Exade. And now there's a Kamen Rider build. And oh my god, Drive it was written by the same people who writes Kamen Rider W. Even though I like W, I like for the characters, the character development, but the writing itself is very slapstick and very childish. It gets very silly, and Drive it just become that. It's very silly. It's not serious. I think after Gaimu, Kamen Rider just become kind of dumb. I mean, Ghost is just dumb. Except I don't watch Except at all. Why are we talking about Kamen Rider? We're talking about animes, right? Anyways, next is in my list is Himoto. I really enjoyed Himoto Umaru-chan. The odd thing is what I think about him Umaru-chan is that first season is actually more comedic, and second season because they have built up the characters, there's actually plenty of kind of serious moments, serious character development between these characters, and I really enjoy that. The characters all become very more likable. I really like Kiria's development and Ebina's kind of trying to trying to attract Taihei's attention, and even though my favorite girl is Sylvan Ford, TSF, and TSF interaction development with Umaru, it's also very enjoyable, and the comedy itself are also still pretty solid. It's not groundbreakingly humorous or something, but it's something silly that you can laugh about and you can relax and laugh, but at the same time you can appreciate their characters. Yeah. So yeah, the second season introduced a new characters, but she only have a few episode of appearance. I think it kind of open for a third season. I think third season is very possible. I think I will really looking forward for third season if they plan any. I'm not sure if the manga has enough material for a third season, but anyway, next, Infinity Force. Infinity Force is as I said in my impersonation video. Even though it's a very simple story, it has a it's a simple story, but it's a very enjoyable story. It has a very enjoyable character development and relationship. Good characters. I love the old school style of stoicism and manliness of these characters. The fighting scenes are pretty good. It's they have all this very old school style of fighting. I really enjoy it. The ending is also it's a very it's a solid and it's a solid anime. And next is Hoseki no Kuni. Oh man, I really I'm I think I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna make a separate video about this But Hoseki no Kune, I really love it. I think it's easily one of the best anime this year, this season. Even though I'm gonna say Hoseki no Kune is the anime of the season. Even though I really love Life, I think I'm a little bit of a fanboy of Life, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But even then, Hoseki no Kune is still my go-to for anime of the season. And Inuyashiki, Inuyashiki is if you ignore the very cheap, the kind of subpar art and a very obvious 3D CG, the story itself is really entertaining. Even though I have some complaints that I can do about this, but like for example, I think there is a lack that it lacks showing the side of other people beside the main characters and the main characters' families and friends. I think it lacks the perspective of other side in the universe, as in like the police, the public, and such. In the end, it becomes, even though it's a conflict between two of these two people, but it affects the entire Japan and even almost the entire world. But because it doesn't show the perspective of, it lacks it doesn't show much of the side of the public and the government. It feels a little small, like it feels a little closed up, close. I don't know, like, how should I say this? Uh, Imagine if there is a story about a war, but the entire story about a war, about this story is it revolve around on only one single squad of soldiers. It's kind of like that. It doesn't touch as much about the whole war, but focuses only on the characters. It's not necessarily bad, but I think in case of Inuyashiki, I think they can be improved upon that. But in the end, I really enjoyed the story, even though I really like this kind. Actually, I really like this kind of antagonist. Spoiler alert, but basically the antagonist is like, he doesn't really have a good reason to do all this shit. All the shit he did. He killed thousands of people. But when you watch as more episode goes on, you can know that he is just kind of fucked up in the head. He cannot really think like a normal human. He's a sociopath. Sociopath with alien technology power that can kill thousands of people very easily. It's kind of like that. He doesn't have any like a glorious goal like to rule the world or to destroy the world, to reset the world or something like that. He is very simple minded actually. He has other people, but he likes some other people that he wants to let live, like his close friend and the girl he likes and her family, something like that. It reminds me of like Kamen Rider UK, the one after Agito, I think. Kamen Rider UK has this other rider called Kamen Rider Oja. Oja is my favorite rider in that series, but he's just a murderer. He likes to kill people and he hunts down people that he hated. He doesn't really have any long-term goal, any big goal, but because he is very resolute in just killing people and he enjoy it, his craziness kind of makes him an entertaining character. And also, spoiler alert for a show that is over 15 years old. In the end, Oja kinda killed himself by charging into a bunch of police because he discovered that the person he wants to take revenge on died naturally. So he got really frustrated and went crazy and then got himself killed. So it's a very silly. When I say like that, it's very silly, but I really like that kind of Simple, simplicity.